our senior year is supposed to go has changed very drastically.
Everything that I had and all the supplies that I had in New York, I had to duplicate out here.
But I can't do a photo shoot because photographers and models are not working in New York City.
I remember thinking at the beginning of March, because I don't care if they cancel graduation, I just don't want you to cancel our show because it's the only thing I've been thinking about for the past months, if not years.
Having a washing machine in my house has been a blessing in disguise.
I never intended on finishing this collection surrounded by my actual family, but since having to move home, it's actually impacted the collection positively.
We're all going through this together, so we're all trying to make the best of it. I think that we'll find a way to pull through, I hope.
My name is Zoey Grenfell, and I'm a senior studying apparel at the Rhode Island School of Design. My senior thesis collection is inspired by a sense of nostalgia and reinterpreting memories of my childhood. I wanted to explore themes of home and family, and so this collection sort of functions as a caricature of a family, dysfunctional or otherwise. And so in the first 3 looks, you see a mother figure, a father figure, a grandmother figure. And with the 3 remaining looks, I wanted to play around with this idea of the evolution of a life and sort of a coming of age. And so I wanted it to read as though they could be different people, but also that they could be the same person, kind of growing over time. The dress of the first look, which is sort of the mother figure, is made using entirely vintage linen tea towels, and the top is a digitally printed design of one of those tea towels. The father figure has a coat that's made entirely out of my dad's old Hawaiian shirts. The grandmother look has a bodice made out of these old costume beads that I used to make jewelry with growing up, and the dress and skirt are also scanned prints of those beads. The fourth look was my first attempt at children's wear, and the dress itself is made out of an old curtain with a row of old doll clothes as sort of a ruffle on the bottom, and then the accompanying cardigan has doll shoes that I hand embroidered onto it. The fifth look is another children's wear piece made out of secondhand denim and vintage cotton because it was inspired by a craft that my mom made us do growing up, where we would puffy paint on denim pockets and put them on our fridge. Since having to move home due to COVID-19, my mother actually was also a collaborator in this look in doing all the puffy paint designs on all of the pockets. My grandmother actually passed away on April 9th, and because I had asked my mom to help me collaborate on this look, she actually poured her heart and soul into these denim pockets because I think it's really important right now to have a creative way to help you cope with grief. So I wanted to accomplish a collection that felt cohesive in its lack of cohesion because I wanted them to all feel like distinctly different characters, but they're also related because they're a family.
My name is Angelina. I am a senior student majoring in fashion design in Parsons School of Design. My schooling is highly impacted by COVID-19. We have to close the studios and having online classes. Luckily, my collection doesn't have to change much because I have finished most of the work before the school closed. My thesis is about my personal struggle of bipolar disorder, depression disorder, and my personal state of mind. I explore this theme in a few different directions, including medical fear and doubts, the cycle of my state of mind, a bizarre maniac experience, creative profession as high-risk group of mental problems. I express these feelings and themes through textile experiments and creative structures. I create designs that are feminine and colorful with a touch of whimsy. In this collection, I did lots of textile experiments with silicone, such as embed chains and feathers in silicone, brush silicone on gathered tulle. I also explored techniques like knotting with surgical tubes and laser cutting acrylic beads. My thesis is sponsored by Swarovski crystals, so crystal beading is another element of the collection. I want to share my personal stories through my work. I want to encourage everyone to share more and support each other about mental health.
My name is Kellen Kaufmann. I live in New York, but I am currently with my family at home in San Francisco for the duration of this pandemic. I'm graduating from Parsons School of Design with a women's wear pathway. I'm currently designing my thesis called Ambient. When starting this project, I wanted to create something that looked effortless, but had good and smart construction. I combined tailoring aspects like tailoring in canvas with more draped or wrapped silhouettes to achieve the level of elevation and luxury that I wanted to convey. I always tend to stick to a muted palette which expresses my ideas in a more subtle and elegant way. When placed on the body, you can see the true beauty of the pieces. The body helps create the fit and silhouette, and the tailoring perfects the shapes. Pattern pieces and structures are made to emphasize a wrapping motion. There are long silhouettes and lapels which mimic stirrups. These make the fabric pull and move with the body as people wear the garments. This collection is heavily inspired by the space around us, and thus COVID-19 has greatly influenced my perspective and surroundings. My collection, named Ambience, directly references the silhouette of the body and the atmosphere around us. Our space and world is currently limited to our room or homes, and the expression of the clothing we wear is limited to what we can see on a video camera. This has changed what is possible for creatives and businesses all over the world. My studio is based in New York, and I've had to reimagine many of my concepts and ideas in order to complete my collection from my family home. Right now, what makes me feel inspired is seeing the creativity of others. I feel it is our duty as young artists to promote positivity and creativity in time of great need or distress.
I'm Juliana Goggle. I'm from Kansas City, and I'm a senior at Pratt Institute studying fashion design in Brooklyn, New York. I wasn't sure how motivated I was going to be to work. My collection is kind of about how I feel at this turning point in my life where I'm graduating from college and I'm about to be, entering the workforce, hopefully. So there's kind of this nostalgia for the past and when I was little and when I would, sit in my bed at night imagining what it would be like to be in New York City as a fashion designer. So a lot of my textiles that I use for my work are kind of derived from my childhood bedroom and growing up in the Midwest. In this collection there are a lot of, big bulky kind of comforter-y, like blanket inspired clothing. I just want the person who wears my clothes to feel like she's comfortable and happy. I think that's honestly the biggest thing. I used to be very serious about my concepts. And to be honest, I would just love to work anywhere right now because I just miss collaborating with people, face to face, in person, and working on creative projects together. So anywhere where I could do that would really be a dream.
My name is Fiona Youngman. I'm a fashion design senior at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York. I also wasn't able to complete my collection. My collection this year started as an exploration of the concept of pace layering, which is put forth by Stuart Brand in his book, The Clock of the Long Now. His book attempts to explain how shifts in different systems affect each other. I was thinking about natural succession, how a forest can rebuild itself on a barren landscape. That led me to the question which shaped my whole collection. What would society look like post the collapse of all the systems which currently govern it? I wanted to imagine what motifs a collapsed Western society would bring to their clothing. What fabric could they salvage from the society before it? What aspects of consumerism and science would be reduced to myth and come into the clothing as motif? In my collection, I used looser shapes. The thing I most wanted to accomplish was to pay extra attention to detail within the garments and within the fabrics. I want to move back to Brooklyn when it's safe. Something that was really special about our year is that we were all very, very good friends. It was a very warm family and everybody loved each other and would help each other. I think that if me and my friends can continue making work together, I think that could be something that's really powerful. Community is really important to me, and especially in COVID-19, where we really can't come together as community physically. Once we get out of this, it's the first thing that I want to do.
My name is Annette Stone, and I'm a student at the Parsons Institute of Technology, majoring in fashion design with an emphasis in evening wear or special occasion clothing. I'm really, really lucky that I bought the supplies when I did. Unfortunately, I'm in California and not in New York where my school is located, but luckily I was only planning on being here for 4 days and I still brought all my supplies out here. So to start my thesis, I thought it would be really important to study trends and fashion revolutions, and ultimately I consider that to be the roots of fashion. So with that inspiration in mind, I wanted to make this the physical embodiment of the roots of fashion. Denim right now is the most popular textile. It's something that I want to bring into evening wear, and it's something that I think I can also do sustainably. There are all these fringe pieces that you see here in the neckline, and there are all these pieces that I've woven in. That was something that I thought would help bring out that theme more visibly. I think that evening wear's most common theme is flowers and floral motifs, so I wanted to literally turn that theme on its head. I think that evening wear is not just one or two textiles that make it defined as evening wear. I think that denim has so much versatility, and that's why I really want to bring it into something like this.